At Cincoletta, we have over 120 vehicles. We need to periodically update the Department of Transportation on the use of those vehicles. So that's actually the purpose of those trip logs, the paper trip logs that you fill out when you take clients on trips. Um, However, we have developed an app now that can be used for that instead of the paper. That's what I want to show you today is how to access the app. There's two ways to do it. One is through a browser. I'm on an iPhone. If you don't have an iPhone or use a different browser than I'm using Safari, it might look a little bit different, but the idea is you just open the browser and type in triplog.org. That's triplog, TRIPLOG.org. And let's go. And it'll load the application. Now, from there, you can run the application, and I'll do that in a little bit. I'll show you how the application works. The other way to access is we've developed an Android app that we've deployed on Google Play Store, and you can download it from there. So let me do that. Go to play.google. And it comes up in what you search for. Just key in Cincoletta. And one of the things, there's other things come up, but one of the things is the TripLog app. The little TripLog highlighted in blue there is the app that you download. Now, I'm on an iPhone, so I can't download it, but you click on that, download it to your Android phone, and it'll operate the same way. Once you execute it, it'll operate the same way as the browser version. There's no difference between the two. We actually developed an app for an iPhone too, but as it turns out, the App Store does not allow apps with restricted use. Since the trip log would only be used by Cincoletta employees, they would not let us deploy it on the Apple, the App Store. And we couldn't figure out an option to do that. So that's why it's the two options: either download this app onto an Android phone, or regardless of your phone, if you can get to a browser, you can execute the app. Okay. This is how to operate the TripLog app. The TripLog has a relatively simple operation. At least we tried to make it simple. Now, when you start using it, if you see a way we can make it easier to use, please let Art Pennington in Transportation know about it. Okay, to the simple screen here, we got the Start button, a Save button, and an End button. And that's basically it. You start it, then you enter information as far as the trip. Then at each stop, including your takeoff stop, like if you're loading some clients into a van at a group home, when you get them in the van, you record information and press Save Stop. It's very important that you press Save Stop before you even take off, because that's the only way it knows where you are. So we want to record where you started off from. So please don't forget to press the Save Stop when you start. So, all right, the Start button begins the trip, and it when you initially run it, it will ask for permission to access your location. Of course, you want to allow that. And it pulls up a little panel for entering information. One thing I want to point out is this screen is sensitive to double touch, so you can make it bigger, you can zoom in or zoom out to readjust the screen or move it up and down. Okay, the driver, just click on the name and it pulls up the keyboard. Now we want you to put in your name. Now, the only purpose of putting in your name is in case we have questions about the trip, we know who to ask. This is saved in a database, but it's not reported to DOT. The name is not included in any of the information that we send back to DOT. So vehicle number, it does edit the number. So just enter the number of the vehicle that you're using. Purpose, it'll pull up a little rotating list here. Select the one that applies. Now on the Android phone, this will be a tablet that pops up, and you select the one from the table instead of the rolling one. So that's one difference between the iPhone app and the browser, or the Android app and the browser app. So that's that. And then we've got information about the writers. Non-senior writers and senior writers. Now, I know in some cases you're not going to know exactly how old the clients are, but just please use your best estimate as far as their age and classification here. We want non-seniors under age 55, separate count for ambulatory versus wheelchair. And the way you adjust the count is to press you press the plus sign and the minus sign to adjust the count to what it is. All right. And the senior is over 54. Same concept. You just add click the plus sign to increment the number. And that's really it. There's an override for the stop address. You can enter an address in there if you don't want to use the location that you're at. Where that might apply is, for example, if you make a stop and you leave, and then later you remember you forgot to press the Save Stop button, well, you can override the address to the place you stopped at. Before you leave to begin the trip, enter this information and press the Save Stop. It will pop up stop saved, just to confirm that the stop was saved. It's important that you remember to press the Save Stop button before you even leave, because that's the only way it's going to know where the trip originated from. Okay. Now, the rest of the data collection is really just a matter of adjusting these numbers and pressing the Save Stop again. So if you're going to make 2 stops to transport clients, let's say we stop, make our first stop, and we let somebody off. Click the minus sign till it goes to 0, and then Save Stop. That's it. You just adjust the numbers and press the Save Stop button for each stop that you make. All right. Now, if we got another stop where we let off the 2 wheelchair, we could even pick up somebody else. Let's say we pick up someone else that's elderly, and we let off 2 wheelchairs. Then we save that stop and keep going, and get to our final destination, and we let this person off. So now we're at 0, no clients on, but it's a different address. Let's just show you how that works. Key in an address. This is does a Google search for addresses, and I'll just use this one. So that's how you override the address that you are. It's a Google function here to select a new address, and then just press Save Stop. It records that, and when you're done, when you're back to your original location, or you're finished with the trip, you press the End button. That's it. That's all there is to it.